Welcome to the City Manager's Report. The City Manager's Report is your preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda and an update from your Oshkosh City Manager. Your hosts, Emily Mikowski of Oshkosh Community Media and City Manager Mark Roloff.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on your City Manager's Report, your source for all the local hot topics here in your city, as well as a preview of the upcoming City Council meeting agenda. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, joined as always by your City Manager, Mark Roloff. So Mark, first of all, thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here, Emily.
So we're going to go ahead and get right into our hot topics and news for the day here. For the first half of the show, take a little break, and then we will return with a review of the City Council meeting agenda for Tuesday, September 22nd, 2015. So Mark, first thing that we want to talk about, we actually mentioned it on the last episode of CMR, is Fall Family Fun Fest. Now that was last weekend on Grandparents' Day, and we've got a little bit of a review of how big of a success it was. Such a huge fundraiser for the Senior Center.
Yeah, now we're talking about the success of it. The Granny Smith Run is probably the main event to the Fall Family Fun Fest, and they had over 175 participants, including some of our four-legged participants. Yes. So a lot of people bring their pets and everything, and it was a wonderful event. There were a lot of music. B104 Radio was there with music, a lot of goodie bags, your normal things you give out, and caramel apple after the race. So if you participated in the race, all the calories you burned off, you ate right away after the caramel apple. Yeah, break even. Still a healthy alternative, I think. But the Fall Family Fun Fest in Granny Smith, it raised more than $10,000 for the Oshkosh Senior Center. So it's really neat that you get a nice fun event and you're able to raise funds to help further the programs at the Oshkosh Senior Center.
Mm-hmm. How cool of an event. And people look forward to it every year. It's a big family tradition here in Oshkosh. And it's all for such a great cause. The Safe House was also there, yes.
Oh yeah, the fire department's always there, and they brought the Safe House out. It's one of those things that you get a new group of kids, and we've seen the Safe House for years, but new group of kids, it's just a wonderful little thing about teaching fire safety, smoke safety, and our firefighters are there, and they deal with the same enthusiasm as if they're doing it to the first kid, even though they've probably done it to the millionth kid by the time they get around to it. They're very devoted, and they know it's important. So they use these opportunities to educate the public and kids in particular on these types of things. And so it's a great event for the community, for the Senior Center, and for families in general.
Yes, that Safe House. I tell you, I had to go through it with John Holland a couple years ago, and it's pretty fun, but it's also kind of alarming. So it's a really fun thing for kids to kind of get to do a little run through of how they would react in that kind of a situation. So yeah. It's good. So great success, Fall Family Fun Fest. We're looking forward to next year already. Another thing we want to update is some historic signs that have gone up around the Riverwalk. So if you've been walking the Riverwalk at all lately, you probably have noticed some of these beautiful signs that have been put up, some for different content as well.
There's a lot of history along the river. When you think about all the industrial areas and the rail areas, we've got some wonderful partners. The railways here, the sign you see here, CN Railroad actually donated two of them, or funds for two of them. And of course, they donated the archway for the trail over there by the boatyard. But we've got other areas. The Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, the Haney family, and the Battle on Bago organization, they all contributed funds for other unique river walk history signs. So the Community Foundation, I believe Battle on Bago did the one on fishing in Oshkosh, and just other parts of history. And as we get more donors, you're going to see more of these. But it's great to walk and get the exercise, but for visitors, walking along the Riverwalk and seeing these things and learning about Oshkosh history is just something that just adds to the experience of being out on the Riverwalk and enjoying it. It does give a more tourism feel to our Riverwalk, and as we further develop this, we'll add more signs and really tell a wonderful story about Oshkosh's history.
Well, it's such a cool addition to the Riverwalk. I mean, not only is it a beautiful walk, like you said, but it's such a great way to appreciate Oshkosh history, and you can kind of stand there and just imagine what it looked like. I saw some cool pictures of the fishing on the river and everything, so very cool addition. We're looking forward to seeing more.
Absolutely. We're really wanting to push history as an element of tourism, and this is just one way to do it. And it's great that we've had so many wonderful donors bring these signs forward, and they really look nice. If you go there, I'd encourage you to take a look at them. And some of it you may know already because you're familiar with Oshkosh history, but you'd be surprised at what little tidbit of information that our historians have been able to pull from the archives and share it with the public.
Very cool. Next item that we want to talk about, another kind of cool item, is the Oshkosh Public Library. They've kind of done a little bit of a new look for their cards. So Scott Williams, our video editing technician, actually gave us his. He just got this brand new library card. Now, this isn't the only one that they can have. They have a few different options I think we'll pull up. So kind of a fun, colorful new design. Yeah,
Scott picked the more muted one. He had some really neat colors. The idea is, we do update our library cards every once in a while. So, but the new design features a photograph of Harris, one of our bronze lions that is there flanking the Washington Street entrance. It's there because it's great history. Even though you have to enter from the backside, you don't enter over by Harris, but it's still an icon for the community and for the library. So that's why we have it on the new cards.
So if you have an old card though, they still work just fine. Don't feel pressured to come back in and get a new one unless you really want a new flashy card. But if you want to replace that, that's completely fine. I think it's $1 to replace your card, or you can come in on Customer Appreciation Day.
Bingo, Customer Appreciation Day. If you want to save that $1, Customer Appreciation Day is Monday, September 28th. It's going to have a Peanuts Charles Schultz theme. They're going to have Snoopy and opportunities for photo ops with Snoopy, and then you can get your library card, a replacement card, free that day. If you really want the photograph of Harris to grace your wallet, you can ask and you'll get it. If you want it and you don't come on the 28th, you got to pay $1. That's it. So hopefully you'll make it out there for Customer Appreciation Day. I think they're going to have a few surprises, but absolutely family fun event. Bring the kids. They can get their picture taken with Snoopy, see some of the other Peanuts themed.
Maybe and even explore some parts of the library that you might not always get to see. It's just another excuse to get out there and visit with some friends and check out some books. And
wonderful collection we have at the library. I think it's one of the best libraries in the state, if not the best library. So it's a wonderful place to bring a family and encourage people to do it.
Yes, lots of fun things going on over at the library all the time. You can check out more at oshkoshpubliclibrary.org. Another fun update here with the city is a new and improved clerks counter here at City Hall. They've been working, and our office is right next to them, so we've been hearing them drilling and hammering over there. But it's now open. So if you're visiting City Hall and looking for the clerk's office, you just got to go take a left from what we're looking at here and head all the way down to the end of the hallway.
It's a little farther down the hallway than it used to be, and a lot of folks may say, well, why did we do this? Well, a lot of these offices were really relics of the 60s. They were pretty non-functional for today's computer era. But we're also planning to move our utility accounting operations over here. So we've shuffled some offices around to make room for our utility accounting, but they're the last move in the jigsaw puzzle. We moved finance to the first door on the right as you come into City Hall. So finance is there near collections. We wanted to get finance more consolidated, so they'll be in one area. The clerk's office is down at the end of the hall. If you recall, you used to go in there and it was pretty dark down there. We've brightened it up a little bit. We have a handicapped accessible counter as well.
Which we didn't have before.
Right, and with so many people doing absentee voting and things like that, we wanted to have a larger area, so it'll make for a longer queue area for people to line up for voting. We'll be able to take care of disabled individuals that are voting prior to the election. So it's a very functional area. It's going to be, I think it's going to improve operations in the finance department once we get all the utility accounting folks over there. But even though the clerks are pretty much settled in, you're still going to see a lot of dust and plastic up for several more months because we got to move people and then redo the area they just left and then move and then decorate. So
a lot of shuffling going on.
A lot of shuffling, but at the end I think you're going to be very pleased with the product. It'll be more customer friendly and certainly more functional for our employees as well.
Yes, so just be patient with the construction-ish zone over there, and it'll, like you said, it'll all be worth it, and it'll be a great streamlined place. So now it's that time of the show. We're about halfway through where viewers have the chance to ask their city manager anything they want about things happening right here in Oshkosh. It's time for Question Mark. Let's go ahead and see what the question is this week. So the question this week is, what is that big construction project going on at Witzel in Ohio? Very good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's still part of the field operations facility, Public Works field operations facility. You may recall that back in 2008, we had a lot of flooding in that area around the central garage, as it was at the time. And the area immediately to the south and west of the central garage generates a lot of water that was going through that area. We needed a big pipe to not only get rid of the water from the field operations facility, but also from the areas immediately to the south. We didn't want to tap it into the storm sewer pipe in Ohio. We didn't think it was big enough, and we didn't want to overburden that pipe. So we are putting in a brand new pipe. It's going straight from the field operations facility right to the river.
So that's kind of surprising to me because it's not right next to the field operations facility either. So, as I drive past that on my daily commute, I'm just thinking it's a huge, massive storm sewer because it is really a huge pipe that I saw. So why is it so big?
It's big primarily because it being so close to the river. Whenever you're close to the river, Mother Nature rules all. And there's when you get it in there, it's naturally going to hold a lot of water from the river because the river water level is going to dictate the pipe. So we need to make the pipe extra large to accommodate the water that the river pushes back, but also the water coming from the neighborhood. So pipes that are down by the river are very large for that reason. That's not just for this facility. That's pretty standard. You may recall that when we were doing Melvin Avenue over near Menominee Park, we had huge pipes there as well because of all the water that comes in from the lake. So anytime you're getting near the body of water, your pipes have to get much, much larger. But it'll accommodate the water. It'll get the water off the Public Works site and to the neighborhood to the south. And
solve some of those flooding issues.
Yeah, and we didn't want to make it any problems worse in that area, so that's why we did it.
Excellent. Well, that's great to know. We also wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up on our question mark. I think it was from last week, dealing with the ever-popular sharrows right now. Everybody's talking about the sharrows, so maybe we can just do a recap again on first what exactly they are.
Well, you said ever-popular. I don't know if they're ever-popular because there is a little bit of divisiveness on it, and that's part of, we disagree in a democracy, and that's okay. The sharrows are a shared driving bike lane, and right now, you can bike on virtually any street, but what we do here is we're designating them so people know that we are encouraging people to use that pathway. So this is the sign you're going to see. It's not a lane. It's actually within the same driving lane that you already have, but bicycles are encouraged to use this route versus other routes. So you're going to see the sharrow with the bicycle and the chevron, and this is on Knapp Street. And the thing that looks weird about it is when there are no cars parked along the curb, it looks like the bike designation is right in the middle of the lane. But if you go back, and I've gone there back on Knapp when St. Jude's has church on Sunday, you can see that when the cars are there, the chevron and bike designation is pretty much tight against the where the cars are parked.
Okay.
So it makes more sense, but we're doing a lot more of these. And we talked about Knapp last time, but we were just getting started with these. We have sharrows on Irving Street that we've just put in. A lot of connections to Knapp. We mentioned Osborne. We mentioned Fifth Avenue. We've got those. We're going to be doing more of these as time goes on. There's some on Algoma Boulevard right here in front of City Hall. So we have a plan, and we'll be putting it up on our website shortly
with maps. And I think the whole point of the sharrows is to kind of interconnect the bike lanes and the recommended places that people are riding their bikes, correct?
Right. So we're connecting the dots, as it were, and so you're going to see the Share lanes pop up a little more, and then you'll see that there's a method to the madness of, why is there a Share lane here? They are connecting different areas. We want to connect parks and schools and other destinations that are important for the traveling public. We want to encourage people to ride bikes as opposed to drive or some other alternative transportation. We get the bike lanes, we get them off the sidewalks, and we're letting the public know, the driving public know, to look out for the bicyclists, because you may very well see them there.
Be sharing the road a little bit. So that's going to conclude our massive question mark segment here. It's a great follow-up, though. People are talking about it. We do have a document on the Hot Topics section of the website explaining a little bit more what Sharrows are. And as Mark said, the Bike and Ped Plan will be going online soon, as well as a lot more information and Q&A on there. If you'd like to send a question to Mark, simply send it to questionmark@ci.oshkosh.wi.us, and he'll answer it on the next episode of City Manager's Report. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll dive into the City Council meeting agenda for this Tuesday, September 22nd. We'll be right back.
If you have expired or unused medication, don't flush it, pour it down the drain, or toss it in the trash. Safely dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box located inside the Oshkosh Police Department. It's convenient and anonymous, safe and secure, and it's open to everyone 24/7. Drop off your prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, pet meds, and more. Keep drugs out of the reach of children and out of our water supply. Dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box. For more information, visit the Oshkosh Police Department website at oshkoshpd.com.
Welcome back to your City Manager's Report. Thanks again for joining us. I'm here with our City Manager, Mark Roloff, and we're about to take a look at the City Council meeting agenda for September 22nd, 2015. So Mark, the first item that we want to address on the agenda for this Tuesday is the introduction of some new city staff.
Yeah, I'm real happy to talk about this. First of all, we have a new Public Works Director. His name is James Robbie. James has been with the city for almost 10 years now. He's been our supervising engineer in our stormwater division. So a lot of the things that we've been doing over the last several years with stormwater improvements, we've talked about tons of them on this show. We've made it a topic of not just city manager reports, but top 10 for the year, as well as state of the city. James has been a big part of that, and I think he brings some really great skills in addition to his knowledge on stormwater, which we already knew about. He's got great communication skills, and he's also somebody who has a very common sense approach to things. I think the public will enjoy working with him. We've got a great team in Public Works overall, and I think James is going to be a new face for the department. I'm looking forward to working with him. Although I've been working with him for a number of years, happy to have him join my department head team. And I think the public will enjoy working with him as well.
You know, we've had a great partnership with James and the Public Works Department in general, really, with the Media Services Department. He's always been a great person to work with. And I was talking to him about his new position, and he was telling me how he started out as an intern for the city of Oshkosh. And I think that was kind of cool, too, that he's just had such a history here, born and raised. So it's really a cool addition, well, I guess, promotion to the team.
We're really happy about it. And we got another addition as well. A gentleman named Josh Teagan. He's our new economic development technician, recent graduate of UW Oshkosh. So more homespun talent. We're really happy to do that. And Josh is going to be helping address some of the internal economic development things that we take care of. Anything dealing with real estate that we own, dealing with working with potential businesses that are looking to expand or locate in Oshkosh. Josh is going to be down there, doing the down and dirty work. And if you're a business interested in expanding, you'll probably get introduced to Josh over the course of his work with us. So we're happy to have him on board. He was in the MPA program, the Public Administration Program, UW Oshkosh. Came highly recommended from the program. So we're anxious to have him join our team.
Yes, really looking forward to all the great things that are going to come out of the Economic Development Division. Mark, next thing that we want to talk about, item number 8, Resolution 15-423. It's an approved change order dealing with the Public Works Field Operations Facility. This is Phase 3. So what is this change order for?
Well, first off, we got to talk about what Phase 3 is. Phase 3 are the new buildings that you're seeing out there that look like, I thought the garage was done. Well, we have some cold storage buildings that really are the last thing. This isn't going to get heat. It's just really protecting it from the elements, but other pieces of equipment that don't necessarily need to be, warmed up in the morning in the winter or things like that. That's right at the corner of Witzel and Idaho. And the purpose of this item on the agenda is that if we purchase the materials for the building directly rather than through the contractor, we can save the sales tax. So we're saving 5% of all the materials for the building. So it just makes perfect sense for us to do this. So the Field Operations Facility, that's what FOF is, FOF. It's just for us to get the final phase, which is the cold storage building, as well as our salt shed.
Our new salt shed. You can't miss that one driving past. It's kind of a funny shaped building.
It's the big dome. If you drive along, big interstates, you'll see a lot of the dome type of buildings for a salt shed. And that's where we store our salt. We have not had a great deal of salt storage in the past. We've always borrowed our salt storage facilities from the county in recent years. So now we're going to have it on site so our trucks can pull in, get filled up, and get out of there right away, right out of the same facility where they park their cars. It is a big salt shed. It's going to hold several thousand tons of salt, and we get enough snow, so we need big storage. But happy to report that even though it looks like it's not entirely complete, and this is very recent footage, it'll be able to start accepting salt around October 1st, so only a couple weeks away.
Right around the same time it'll start snowing around here,
well,
right?
Let's hope not. But the idea is we're getting the deliveries of salt. We want to get the salt shed filled up as much as it can be, but then they can continue to put the roof on while we have salt in there. So
Perfect.
We'll get it in there by October 1. Heaven forbid we have a salt a snowstorm. We'll be ready if we do, and that's the whole idea. We need to be prepared for whatever comes up over the course of the winter.
Wonderful. Well, it's great to hear the updates on the Field Operations Facility. I mean, you cannot miss it as you're coming down Witzel or Idaho. Next items that we want to talk about, a couple of special events. The first one being Resolution 15-426. That's an approval of special event from Oshkosh Festivals Incorporated. That's for the Oktoberfest coming up on October 3rd. A lot of people look forward to that every year.
Right. In the spring, summer area, we have the St. Patrick's Day,
Yes.
the Irish Fest celebration, and this is the fall German Fest. So Oktoberfest is over by the Dockside Tavern, brings a lot of people downtown. Great event. Come and enjoy yourselves. So we're happy to do a little plug for it on October 3rd.
Yes, another event that we want to do a little plug for coming up on October 16th is the Jeremy Monette Rock and Glow Fun Run, better known as the Jermo Glow. So that's a really cool event coming up too.
It is, and it's going to be on October 16th. It's going to start over at Beckett's. Jeremy was one of the inspirations for the lighted bridges over on Jackson and Main Street. He did a lot of the fundraising and really led that effort. So the Rock and Glow is just to honor Jeremy's memory and also have a little fun in the process. And I think Jeremy would be approving of all of that. So there's some information out there on the website for them. That you see the different social media contacts there. We can get all that done for them and plug the event. We're happy to do it. So you'll be able to see the map and where it goes and everything. But it starts off at Beckett's Restaurant and then makes its way around. So we're looking forward to that.
Excuse me, I just had a little tickle in my throat there, but the other event that we want to promote is the Oshkosh Chili Cook-Off on October 24th.
I can handle these because it's Oshkosh Rotary, which I happen to be a member of, but it's their annual event where they have a chili cook-off. They're still looking for teams if you're interested in doing it, but it is to benefit the day-by-day warming shelter. So it does a wonderful job of fundraising for a very good event. It's still during farmers market, so you can go to the farmers market. You can, I think, pay a little bit. You get to taste all the chili. That's part of the fundraising. And then there's a contest where you can, where there are judges that judge the chili, and there's prizes for those folks who do that as well. So it's a great fundraising event, and that's on October 24th. I believe that's close to the last farmers market. So it's a great opportunity to mesh with your friends at farmers market and get a little chili, and hopefully it won't be too chilly when we have it, but you'll be able to enjoy yourself.
You definitely can't go wrong. I've got something stuck in my throat, Mark. I apologize for that. Next item we want to talk about is item number 22. That's the approval of left turn regulations at Main Street, Merritt Avenue. So haven't we seen something like this come up before?
Well, we sure have. I'll tell you, this is probably one of those items where everybody has an opinion, and it's not necessarily the same opinion. We actually took away the left turn prohibitions a few years ago, and we've experienced a number of accidents. We've had a lot of close calls, and I think the Traffic Review Committee has looked at it and said, we really need to change this. So what we're doing is bringing it back to that we will prohibit, once again, those left turns. You know, this is where Merritt and Church Avenue come in. It comes in at a weird angle, and I think some people don't necessarily pay attention when they're making the left turns, and we have a history of accidents there. And typically when you have a history of accidents, you take a look at what you can do. And the Traffic Review Board believes that the best thing to do is go back to what we had for years on end, which was no left turn from Merritt to southbound Main Street. So we're going to take care of that, and hopefully that'll put closure on that issue, because I know it's been controversial.
Great. Next item that we want to talk about is some budget workshops. One coming up on October 20th and 21st. That's a 2-day budget workshop.
It's budget workshops. It'll be shown on OCMS, but it's different. They're not going to be evening. They're going to be during the day. So if you're working during the day, you may want to catch it online later on. But 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday, October 20th and 21st. We'll be talking more about it on future CMRs and things like that. And then the last one that we really want to talk about, and we got to get people prepped for it, is trick-or-treating.
It's coming up already.
Well, we know when it is. It's always October 31st. We have sort of a standing rule that if it's on a weekend, we do start a little bit earlier. We usually start later on weekdays because parents don't get home on time from work, but 4 to 7 p.m., so we'll start a little earlier, but it runs longer. It's going to still end at 7 p.m., so you may want to buy an extra bag of candy for the kids, because I'm sure they'll be out there.
Well, we're looking forward to it again Saturday, October 31st from 4 to 7. The last item that we want to talk about is one last little plug-in for the Stone of Hope coming up on September 29th.
Yep, September 29th at 7 p.m. at First Congregational Church. The Stone of Hope exhibit. It's really a history of African Americans in the Fox Valley. And so it says Black Experience in the Fox Cities. First Congregational Church just a little bit down the street from City Hall. And we're certainly plugging it because we want to increase awareness of the history of our community and how African Americans contributed to that. So it is not a council night. It's a fifth Tuesday, so I will be there, and I love fifth Tuesdays because I get off and I get to do something I enjoy. I love history, and I'm going to be attending this along with Chief Scott Royal.
Well, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great event with a really cool history focused on the Fox Valley. So that's going to do it for this episode of City Manager's Report. Thanks for carrying the end of the show for me, Mark, with my little tickle that I still have. So again, the City Council meeting is this Tuesday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. You can watch it live on City Cable 10 and on our website at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org. You can also listen to it at 101.9 WOCT, which is now available online and on the TuneIn Radio app for mobile devices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter for all your community and government programming and updates, or check out our YouTube channel for government meeting replays and past episodes of your favorite programs.